Okay. Vikings dropped to 0-2 in the preseason. 12-10 to the Colts. Um, that doesn't matter. The wins and losses doesn't matter. Um, Me personally, I was just looking for some positivity to come from this game because there's been just these negative vibes all around the team uh, for the last few weeks, basically ever since training camp started. It's kind of just been one thing after another with injuries and vaccination statuses and Zimmer's getting ornery and things like that. Um, so I just wanted some positivity, and you know the Chicken Littles, the people who the people the fans who you know get excited when something goes wrong, or the anti-Vikings media, they're gonna just call it. They're gonna go into their skies falling mode for the recap of this game. I'm not gonna do that. It wasn't a very good game. I mean, in terms of just like entertainment value, but um, I wanted some positivity. I wanted some good vibes to come out of this game, and maybe I didn't get as many as I hoped for it. I mean, I wouldn't have been opposed to them winning a game 33-6, but um, you know, I think for the most part, I got what I wanted from this game, it, particularly on defense. Um, so I would say the big positive from this game is we got a lot of the first team defense out there, with the exception of Hunter. Hunter didn't play. Patrick Peterson didn't play, and I don't believe Harrison Smith played, and I know Xavier Woods didn't play. So I think everybody else did play, and the first team defense looked really good. That rebuilt interior of the line, Tomlinson, Pierce, they're blowing up runs. Bashad Breeland looked really good in the secondary. I mean, I don't think that was in doubt, but he's definitely, you know, he's definitely set as a starting corner. Um, um, and the some of the depth guys on defense had nice games. Obviously, Troy Dye got a pick six on a nice play where we got the um, somebody got the pressure to force a bad throw. Then we had a pass breakup to knock the ball up in the air, and then Troy Dye's in the right place at the right time, and he gets the ball and he gets the pick six. Um, and Dye almost got another pick later, kind of right off his hands, and he had a couple other good plays. So nice game from him. Chris Boyd looked good. Chaz Surratt looked good. Um, uh, one of the Lynches, I always get them mixed up. One of the Lynches had one really nice play. I forget. We have too many Lynches. We got a Blake Lynch and a James Lynch, and I always get them mixed up, and they both play defense. Um, I forget, so I forget which one of those it was. And what Jordan Scott got a pick. I really don't even know who he is, but he got a pick, so good for him. Probably be his career highlight. So yeah, really no complaints on the defense. I mean, they really didn't give up anything. You know, whether it was first team, second team, third team, anybody, nobody really did anything. Um, just four field goals. That's all it was. Um, um, the other big thing to watch was the offensive line. We did see the start of the presumed week one starting five. So Hill, Cleveland, Bradbury, Udo, and O'Neal. And everyone's going to focus on one play. They're going to focus on the Rashad Hill blown block that got Kirk sacked. And you can't erase that. I mean, those plays matter. You can't have that in a game. That's I'm not expecting them to go through the season not giving up a sack, but you can't have that happen. Um, But, excluding that play, they looked good. Both run and pass blocking. So, take that for what you will. But, they looked fine. Again, they didn't really do anything with offense, with offensive play calling. It was really vanilla stuff. Maybe not quite as blatant as last week, where they were basically running out the clock from the opening kickoff. But again, they weren't really calling anything. It was just like, simple runs and simple throws. Whether it was Cousins, whether it was Jake Browning, whether it was Kellen Mond. But Cousins didn't throw for 8 touchdowns, so everyone's going to rip on him and say he's a piece of shit. I ain't worried about him in terms of if he's on the field. I ain't worried about him. Then they put Jake Browning out there. Boy, I don't think I've ever seen a guy, fumble a chance like to the degree that he's fumbled it. I mean, he was missing on some fucking just the most basic throws you can have as a quarterback, and he's missing them by 10 yards. Like, I was like worried if there's something psychologically wrong or something. Like, yeah, he was just so bad on a few of the throws he had. And he didn't play too much. He played just kind of like the second half of the second quarter. He did end up completing a couple throws. BB kind of bailed him out on one or two plays. It got him kind of in. I think they got a field goal out of that late drive from him, but he doesn't look good. He looks terrified. He just looks absolutely terrified every single time he goes back in the pocket. And then we got Kellen Mond for a half. He didn't look very good either. Again, it's play calling that didn't seem to be designed to show anything. Like, good, I don't know what they get out of some of this play calling in these preseason games so far, but you got a guy with Mond's abilities, and they're not really calling anything for him to do anything. It's kind of just the same vanilla stuff. Like, we'll call runs up the middle, and we'll call, quick little out passes and things. And Bond didn't show much, and Bond didn't do much, and he didn't look very good. And he played the whole second half. They didn't score a point. I think 1 or 2 drives they might have gotten vaguely in scoring range, but they did miss a field goal at one point. I think that was first half though, and that was a long field goal. It was like a 50-plus yarder, so I'm sure everyone will lose their mind over that. But you don't see much, and they don't show much with Browning or Mond. I think Mond just, Mond has more ability, like raw ability. But I guess Zimmer in the postgame even kind of said they might be looking to bring somebody else in. I don't know who the hell's out there that you're going to bring in as a quarterback, now. I literally don't even know who's out there. Bring in Kaepernick. That would really get this fan base fucking riled up. But if they were to bring someone in, it would probably be some. I mean, it wouldn't be anybody who excited anybody. But I think there might be something to that, because on one hand, you're not really calling any plays to showcase anything, but on the other hand, your backup quarterbacks aren't showing you anything either. They're not instilling a lot of confidence in anybody. But we'll see how that goes. Really nothing on offense that was any sort of highlight, because obviously there wasn't much on offense in general. I mean, BB caught a couple passes. Abdullah, I think, had a couple nice runs. Like, there really wasn't much going on. Obviously, Dalvin Cook didn't play, and Jefferson didn't play. Thielen was in there, dropped a pass on, I think, the first series, and got like a little minor injury and had to leave. So really nothing came out of that. Amir Smith-Marset looked pretty good on a couple of returns. I think he had one that was like 40 yards that he took out of the end zone. So that might be something. They might actually have something of a return game. Not much else really to talk about, because it was a very blah game, very boring game. Certainly better than last week. At least on some areas, but I guess Zimmer did also say that he is probably going to play some starters against Kansas City next week for the preseason finale. I kind of thought maybe he would anyway, because otherwise it would be this game until week 1. That's a long time to not play certain guys, and the next game is in 6 days, so maybe it's not doesn't make that big of a difference one way or the other. But I don't think Zimmer's happy with the overall performance by any means in the preseason. I'm not either, really, but like, I saw some good stuff in this game. I think in particular this defense is going to be really good. I'm really buying in to the vast improvement of the defense. I'm disappointed in Cam Dantzler, though, man. He's playing deep into the fourth quarter in this game. What happened to him, man? I don't get it. I don't know what happened to him, because last year his issue was not how he looked on the field. It was an injury thing. He couldn't keep his ass on the field. But he's kind of buried. I don't think he's in danger of being released or anything. But but he might be. I don't know. I guess it depends on other positions. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there with Cam Dantzler, that he's behind Chris Boyd now on the depth chart, and with merit. Just the way it is. I don't know. That keeps up, and boy, that draft class from 2020 is, particularly the corners. That could be an all-time bust. But we're a ways off from that yet. So yeah, they're kind of. I don't think I forgot anything else. Frisbee Dogs. Shout out to the Frisbee Dogs for the halftime show. You did well. You made us all proud. So yeah. Next game is at Kansas City, and that's the preseason finale. We're going to see some starters in that game, and then that's it. That's it for preseason. I think there's also another cut down day sometime this week, because I think they're doing a cut down after each preseason game. So I'm not sure how many have to get cut this week. I don't think anybody like stood out as so bad in this game that they're going to get released unless they release Jake Browning. Although Jake Browning is safe because he's vaccinated. Um, if nothing else, they're going to keep him on the practice squad just so they can have a vaccinated quarterback, depending on if they maybe bring somebody else in. But boy, I mean, look, we all know. I think even like the biggest Kirk haters understand that if Kirk goes down, our season is fucked anyway. But that has been put under the spotlight here for sure the last 2 weeks. So, but I'm overall much more positive on this game because I saw some legitimate big issue positivity, and I hope to see more against Kansas City.